Hmm. Exciting news, it seems. Some teenagers leaked the trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6. I guess some higher up guys, kids, teenage friends released it when he was showing it to them, being a good guy. Good job. Although it is very much, you know, it's like a reveal of its age. It makes sense that it would be leaked in this leaky ass, pirate ass generation. So let's look at it. And as we go through it, I'll tell you where I'm coming from and where my judgments are coming from and why they are the way they are. Um, we're going to piece it up a little bit so that we don't get copyright struck. So let's see. Here we go. So we're going to take it shot by shot, almost like it's a film analysis course, right? Yeah. Nothing but a fat cat. Oh yeah, you're done pissing and shitting. Now you can eat. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, cat. Thanks, Elliot. Douche cat. Look at him. He shakes his head like he doesn't hear. He's like, huh, what? I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand human words. He understands my tone, though. So, this is not a sponsor. I have no sponsors. I have no audience. How can I have a sponsor? So, shot by shot, and I'll tell you right off the bat, before we even look at it, that it looks very good. It looks excellent. There are some things about the art that kind of give me a sigh of relief, almost, but let's get into it. Okay, first shot. Okay, it's the atmosphere, it's the colors, it's the palette, it's the Vice City vibe, but modern. However, they're still doing that retro shit. Listen to the pianos. Those are 80s, super clean, processed pop song pianos. Very bright. Continue. Prison. Where are we? Are we in prison? So that's what it's a great setup.
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
Let's do that again. Does that look like shit? Here we go.
Lucia.
Look at the shadows. I mean, the graphics are immaculate. They're almost too good for a Grand Theft Auto game. And I never liked the Grand Theft Auto games because they had amazing graphics. They always had sort of, I don't want to say subpar because of the scope of the project, but they were never perfect graphics. They were never Squaresoft, you know? They were never Crysis or Halo. They had sort of a cartoonishly toned graphics, in I guess a cartoon, almost like a heightened, more cartoonish style of real life to accommodate, I guess the graphical limitations. Because we don't really know if back in the PS2 days, what these guys had actually envisioned. Maybe they did really envision like a hyper-realistic recreation of our cities instead of like, the heightened parody cartoon version that we actually got. That's why, to me, it was very shocking to play Grand Theft Auto 4 and see the big departure in its tone. It went from being sort of a cartoon satire to wanting to be almost like an Oscar contender type of movie. It was competing with the big movies of its time. And you can tell because it's the most cinematic game that they've ever done, in my opinion. I think San Andreas was too cartoonish. It plays like a hood fantasy movie. Nico's story is not a fantasy. It's very ugly, and it's very tough, and it's not happy, and you don't feel good playing that game. I never felt good playing that game. Maybe because I'm an immigrant. But as an immigrant, I didn't have Nico's experience. I had a good ride. I had the middle class ride. I took a plane here. I didn't have to cross no rivers. I didn't have to walk. Everything that I did was was through paperwork, and overstaying our visa and such. But yeah, the graphics, I think, are right now, they're actually nailing a very specific tone, which is the hyper realistic tone with almost, that animated Pixar feel. It's not, it's not, it's not Resident Evil hyper realistic. It's more of a Final Fantasy, but better. Final Fantasy VII is very beautiful, but everybody looks homogenized. There's no variety in the NPCs in regards to different accents, different socioeconomic visual, in their clothing. You don't know if somebody's poor or you kind of can, but it's so generic that it feels like everybody's a fucking college student in that game. Where's all the old people? Where's the children? Where's the adults? No, just a bunch of assholes from like 15 to 23 or some shit. This game is more adult, and you'll see why. So, I was talking about the graphics, overdone almost. Look at this cinematic shot. You got a picture of her family, or the people that she loves, presumably. She's been here a while, maybe. Looking out there, looking at the freedom. It's orange, prison, San Andreas, gangster shit. And it's a Latina. And she's not happy to be here. And in one regard, that they're not being PC, is that, overwhelmingly, most violent criminals are Hispanic and black. Sorry, I'm Hispanic. It's just the way it is. You can't control the way people are going to behave. And you shouldn't talk to people like they're groups. Like, you shouldn't. My Latinos, my Latinx. When people talk to me like that, I get fucking angry. And I want to turn over the fucking, I want to trash the temple and get crucified and such. It doesn't work. It's pandering. It's weak. And it reeks of like, let me handle this little minority with kid gloves. Don't upset the minorities. They'll cut you. So.
Do you know why you're here?
Bad luck.
Again, very, very legitimate to life. Very legitimate to life.
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
I mean, most of the social workers that I've met look like that. It's very much like these, it's almost like these altruistic minorities trying to clean up their own people's, not their own people, because it's such a bigoted thing to say. I think like whenever you group people into swaths and like these people, those people, I mean, sometimes you do have to generalize to communicate fast. You can't be a pedant about everything. You can't be fucking, you can't be overly detailed about everything that you talk about. You can't speak like a textbook or like a lore book. So I understand you have to generalize, but it's like your people, you have no responsibility over what other people do. It's not your problem. It's not your fault. Shouldn't be your concern, but you may concern yourself with it. So it's like this Latina African-American lady, and look at the curls, man. Look at the curls. Look at the fucking hair. That's good graphics. Most black people struggle to get their hair looking like that in real life. It takes ages. That's not easy. So the art department is very obsessive. I like that.
Bad luck, I guess.
And I love that line.
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
Bad luck, I guess.
Typical, I didn't do nothing. What I do? Bad luck, I guess. Everybody's a criminal. You caught me because you were lucky. And so the body language, you see the toned nature of her body. You can tell she's tough. The bone structure of her face, very much a fighting woman's face. Look at the jawline. Look at the cheekbones. Look at this. It looks like, what's her name? That UFC lady, Amanda something. We'll find her. Conservative breasts. Usually when a woman is very fit, unless she's got the genetics for it. And by genetics, I mean you're genetically muscular and genetically big-breasted. Otherwise, when you work out, your titty meat gets burnt. I mean, your titty fat gets burnt away. And you get a rack like Abby from The Last of Us 2. But then again, that physique was totally unrealistic for somebody living in those, even if you have the resources. You also have steroids. So you got food, you got all the protein, and you got gyms and personal trainers and steroids. Great. And again, the shadows, the clarity of the water, the sea creatures. Sorry, this thing does every 10 seconds. It skips by 10 seconds. And the video is having a hard time. Give me 1 second. Yeah.
Lucia, do you know why you're here?
Bad luck, I guess.
The dolphins, the detail of the water, even with my low res picture, it's pretty grand. And it's starting to look, right now, video game graphics are starting to look better than reality. It's starting to look better than movies. Right now, cameras have to go so hard in making people look so extra and showing you things that the naked eye can't see, that it's not even funny. I just saw this commercial with Chef Ramsay. I don't watch television, so usually when I watch commercials, it's online. So I saw one of these What I mean by that is I don't know what commercials look like nowadays with these new cameras. But I saw this commercial, this ad with Chef Ramsay, and I was seeing details in his face, and Chef Ramsay has got the type of face where if I was shooting the food with very advanced cameras, I would shoot Chef Ramsay with a softer lens so that all his granite-like skin features are softened and idealized. You know, they're brushed a little bit. It becomes distracting unless you're shooting something that demands that level of fidelity. It becomes distracting. You're more blown away by the picture than you remember the commercial. And maybe that is oftentimes that's the only goal, man. It's like, remember the commercial. Never mind what we sold, never mind what it was about, never mind what was said. Just remember something about it, because there's so many fucking commercials out there that you're competing with, like, people's like mental real estate. Who's gonna remember us? Who's even gonna remember us in this era of binge eating, binge consumption, and binge everything? And like, oh my god, even YouTube is like, take off those fucking ad blockers, you motherfuckers. You want YouTube? You pay for it, you fucks. This is TV now, corporate TV. Got our corporate sponsors buying time and pushing the little producers away. And you know, it used to be such a dirty little Wild West, and right now it's turning into the outer worlds. You know, it's depressing. It's really sad what's happened. It's because I saw it come and go. I saw it rise and fall. And man, even though back then everything, you know, people always idealize the past. People don't fucking tell you that back then to watch a porno, you would have to wait 2 hours for 5 seconds of a preview to load. And if you got like you know, like a shot of twat or like a shot of nipple, you would have to settle and jerk it there. Because how are you going to hold an erection for more than 3 hours, man? I mean, as a kid, you could. You know, as a kid, would have those little angry little boners that I didn't know what to do with, you know, so... It is possible, but I think it's very concerning that this society wants to fucking train us to have blue balls before we can even ejaculate. It's like kids with little angry boners not knowing what to do and why they have this energy end up hating girls because they don't know how to fucking talk to them. They don't know that they really love these girls, but there's too much ego and too much societal, I think, separation for them to just be like, hey, I like you. Hey, I think you're hot. Hey, you want to get some coffee or go for a walk? I'm not no high value man. It's crazy how all these terms, all this manosphere red pill terminology has infected the mainstream. I never thought it was going to happen. I've been watching this culmination. It's been taking place for like the last 15 years because I used to listen to the MGTOW. I like the MGTOW because the whole thing about MGTOW, you're not just walking away. You're not just butthurt from relationships and walking away from women. You're walking away from society to understand what the fuck you are and what your place is in the society. The whole point of going your own way, in my opinion, is that eventually you heal, you fix yourself, and you come back like the prodigal son. And now you can do good. Now that you're fixed, or now that you have pinpointed your demons, you know what they are. Maybe you don't necessarily know what to do about it, but you know they're there, and you can keep an eye on them. And now you're responsible, because now you're not ignorant anymore, and you know that it's not a good thing. Now you can do something about it. So that's what I thought MGTOW was about. Go your own way, find out what your path is, regardless of masculinity, platonic, even romantic ideals. You define your own path, and you come back, and you reintegrate. That's the whole point. It's not you leave the Matrix and then you beg to come back to the Matrix. It's you leave the Matrix, you are introduced to the world, you reject it because you're not ready for it. You go fucking get your shit together, get your mind together, get your heart together, get your life together. And then you say, okay, now I can combat what I don't like. Now I can fight. Now I am a weapon for good. A weapon for shaping the future. That's what I thought MGTOW was. But no, everybody got stuck in the whole red pill rage. The whole women don't like me, or women have standards. Women are like kind of equal now. Women can have choices, and they don't have to be stuck in shitty marriages or shitty relationships for resources. Women can get their own resources now, and they can pick and choose if they want to be with a man or not. And that bothers a lot of men. That's why everybody wants to become a fucking Muslim now. What the haram? Islam is haram. No mas Hamas. No mas Hamas. Hamas Hamas. Hamas Hamas. No mas Hamas. This game looks really good. And now you have very, what I would say, rock and roll, distorted guitars, as the Rockstar Games credits show. The guitars kick in, electric guitars, but they're not metal guitars. They're hard rock guitars. They don't want to scare the people. Heavy metal, that's a bit niche. It's a bit nerdy. It's a bit stinky. It smells like BO and weed, bong water. And straight edge, oddly. This is one of my favorite shots right here. And I don't give a shit about diversity. But if you are portraying a diverse geographical location, do it right. And they're doing it right. Look at the hips. Look at the thighs. Look at the bodies. Look at the different compositions. Small shoulders, big hips. Bigger shoulders, big hips. Jack dude, not Jack dude. More average bodies. But this is like Florida culture, Florida beach culture, which is a lot like Brazilian beach culture. Everybody wants to look their best. It is like a parade of ass and bodies and pheromones. And this sells it. Look at the sheen. Look at the oil on this ass. This is very encouraging. And look at the hair. They're nailing the culture. Look, natural hair, permed hair. I'm sorry. Natural hair, permed hair, got a wig. You guys have no idea how amazing this picture is to me. And you know what? I'll come out and say it. I'm not gay. I'm not part of the community. Gays don't like me. They kind of feel wary around me. Because first they think that I'm gay and they kind of flirt with me. Then they realize that I'm straight and they back off thinking, oh man, maybe I revealed a little bit too much. Maybe this hetero Hispanic is going to stab me. And no, I am an ally. There's nothing wrong with being gay. There's nothing right, but there's nothing wrong. And I like the gays a lot like I like the Jews. There's like 3 of them in the whole world. The whole world hates them. But they have a higher IQs than the average. They are overeducated, super energetic. They make a lot of money. They are like the Vitruvian Man. Except that I think that gays are more, they're more vain. They're more metrosexual. They give a fuck about their personal appearance a lot more than straight guys and, the average Jew. They want to look attractive. They don't just want to look presentable and professional. They want to show some physical idealism. That's why gay guys love to show their ankles, and they wear very tight pants to show the muscularity of their legs. And that's why a lot of straight guys who dress like that, women assume they're gay because why are your pants so tight, brother? Or what, are you competing with women? You want to be finer than bitches? What's going on? So this picture here is one of my favorite shots just because of all the bodies. They're not afraid of having different bodies, voluptuous bodies, big ass bodies, more conservative athletic bodies, natural bodies, pale skin, black skin, more Latina skin, more mocha, more, a little cream. All the shades make me go nuts because to me, when it reminds me of science fiction, where you get all these races together and all this color and all this diversity, not for diversity's sake, not because diversity is going to make us stronger, because diversity makes it more dramatic, it makes it more interesting. Yeah, there's more violence, there's more disagreements, there's more clashes, more culture clashes. But that's the kind of stories that I want to read. That's not the kind of life that I want to live. But that's the kind of fiction that I want to inhabit, right? So this shot, I think, 10 out of 10. Very encouraging. She said she cared. Look at that. And look at the compositions of the bodies. It's like they're actually getting very diverse body models so that they can make these very realistic sculptures where the breasts are placed. You can tell that there's a skeleton underneath. Look, you can tell it's so anatomical. You see the linking parts where the leg is gonna link to the hips and where the spine ought to be, where the shoulders are, actually giving these women real bodies. And I don't mean Last of Us bodies. I mean hot, not Holocaust bodies, but hot Florida bodies. Hot. She tried to make my world. She said she love this shot. Love this shot. I love this. This reminds me of Crank. These people saw Crank. And Crank is it's like Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. No, it's Grand Theft Auto 3 in film form. Both Cranks. Because I think Vice City and I think that San Andreas were getting a little bit too serious. That's how retarded Crank is. But I love Crank. I consider those movies to be indie 4-star movies. You put those as a double feature. That's a powerful double feature. We need a third movie. Those movies are masterpieces of the genre. And they're compulsively watchable, especially the second one. The second one really went wild. And this is what this is reminding me of, that heightened tone. So colorful, car culture, street culture, ghetto culture. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto culture, gangsta culture. Look, stripper culture. Look at the big asses and the big titties. Look at the bodies. Look at them. And look at the little titties. I love seeing different bodies like that. And obviously the nature is going to be immaculate because they already mastered that in Red Dead Redemption 2. So the nature is going to be top tier because they can do it. So this is looking like Red Grand Theft Auto, Red Theft Auto Redemption or something, because of the level of beauty and detail in the physical models. She said she cared about me. She tried to make my... And this is like a decent pop song that just about anybody can like. They curated it very carefully, and it's very well done. I'm just blown away by the body types. They really paid attention to the different ethnicities and the different races that they're trying to portray. And it looks like what, Cyberpunk was trying to do. That's what this looks like. I think Rockstar saw Cyberpunk drop the ball and they said, yoink, got it. 3 points. And I love this. I love I love the grills, the bling, the ghetto culture, and the super clean, brand new fucking tank top. Another beautiful shot. It's going to be an incredible map. It's probably going to be the best map so far. Wow. And I think that they still haven't topped the San Andreas map. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, the maps got bigger, more elaborate, more complex, more, real life scale. But they're just as confusing as real life streets. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to? And I remember when I played Grand Theft Auto 3, I thought that shit was overwhelming, to remember everything. But you remember all of it. You will. And it's made in such a way to where it's very memorable. All those 3 games, all 3 of them. Even San Andreas, I memorized San Andreas eventually. Maybe not the desert, maybe not the more mountainous parts, but most of the cities, most of the streets, everywhere where you're guaranteed to traverse, it's in here. And that's incredible. That's some Dark Souls shit. You know what I'm saying? Some Elden Ring shit that you can actually remember this overwhelmingly huge world because it's so distinctive and beautiful, and you make memories in it. I didn't feel that way with Grand Theft Auto 4. I didn't feel that way with Grand Theft Auto 5. And I didn't feel that way with Red Dead Redemption 2 because there was just not enough freedom. It's all on rails, and I don't like that. I don't give a fuck about your movie or your cinematic masterpiece. Your writing is never going to be as good as literature or the best movies. Maybe the best movies. But gangster culture, crime, heists, robbing, this kind of, gratuitous violence, this crime culture. The older that I get, the less that I care. I want to see Rockstar do a sci-fi game. Imagine if this shit was in space. Imagine if this is what I want. And I don't give a fuck about the story. When I think about Rockstar doing a sci-fi game, think about this being a sci-fi game. I just think about, Armored Core 6 and how I wanted that to be an open world game and how it deserves to be. That world deserves its own open world. And when I think about Rockstar doing an open world sci-fi game, as I look at this cityscape, all I want to do is explore it, and I wanna hear the radio stations and the satire writing, the pedestrians, all of the sci-fi jokes, all of the literature, in all of the serials and all the TV stuff and all the movies. I want all those references to be everywhere, and I want to experience them as, this sci-fi, wonderland. What Starfield couldn't do. What Starfield didn't have the balls to do, actually. And what Cyberpunk, I think, the problem with Cyberpunk is that it's too much celebrity shit. It's too close to real life for it to be a pure fantasy. It's too sci-fi, too close to home. I don't like it. I don't like seeing Keanu Reeves in it, and I don't like seeing Idris Elba in it. It takes me out of it. And it makes me think that, oh, this is what you like, right? This is something that you like. Eat it, eat it, eat it. And I'm like, well, that's very nice, but, I'm not a fucking mental retard. I'm not just going to eat whatever you fucking shove in my face. So I'm falling out of love with the whole crime drama obsession with these games. I want Grand Theft Auto in space. I want Grand Theft Shuttle 6 now!
The way she thought it should be. Yeah, we were desperate.
Look at the hair and the bodies, boy. It's fucking Florida culture. It's Jesus Christ. This is what Fresh and Fit think they are.
To have each other.
Look, it's fucking meme culture over here. Fucking, rich douchebag culture looking like fucking Jeff Bezos over here. You got alligator culture, you got fucking Cayman culture, Cajun culture, Southern culture, reptile culture, mud boat culture. I love, and look at this. This is one of my favorite shots right here. Because this tells me that they're not shying away from the nastier, lower, ghetto, shitty culture stuff. I think that they are going to satirize culture hard in this one. Even though satirizing Florida culture isn't brave, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people had worries that this game was going to be too woke because of the change in leadership and management and direction. And I still don't think that those worries have been assuaged, because I think that all the targets that this game seems that like it's gonna target are easy targets. If you want to be an edgy liberal, you can make fun of these things if you're smart enough. And Rockstar are very smart, brilliant writers. I'm just blown away by how hot the bodies are. Look at these legs. This game is gonna be more so than Baldur's Gate, which allows you to strip all of your companions. You can see dicks, nipples, titties, and ass. Lae'zel's got the best nipples. I think this game is gonna supplant fucking Baldur's Gate 3 as the, you know, I'm fapping with my other hand as I play game. You know, oh, I got my mouth. This game looks really horny, and I like that. Put sex back in media, motherfuckers. Make people fuck again. Not make people fuck again. Make people want to fuck again and like have physical relationships again. You know. Yeah, Florida man. Not brave. Making fun of big fat people, big fat goofy people. You can still do that. For some reason, people still consider big fat motherfuckers, what's the word? Fair game. And mostly they are. But I think that if you're gonna make fun of fat people, you should make fun of everybody. Not every fat person can control their thyroid problem. And listen, I'm one of those motherfuckers. I don't sympathize with fat people, or obese people rather. I don't mind seeing people have a little meat on them. Enjoy life. Enjoy your food. I mean, it's a short life, and we don't get that many pleasures. All of the pleasures get stripped away from us as we age. Can't have that anymore. You can't have that anymore. You can't have that anymore. Unless you want to die. I mean, you can't have that stuff, but if you don't want to die of fucking high blood pressure at 49, right? Yep. Florida man culture. America. You ever see America? The dick. You see, I love seeing the big signs in the back. So yeah, Florida white trash. I just love how they're making the women so hot.
Well, look who's back.
I like that too.
The only way we're gonna get through this is by sticking together, being a team. Back. The only way.
And the main cast is reminding me of Grand Theft Auto 3, Claude and Catalina. You fuckers remember Catalina? Catalina was fucking amazing in San Andreas. She was so funny. That voice actress, her line delivery, and the lines themselves, oh my god, she was so emasculating. She was such a fierce bitch. But she was hilarious. And she's probably my favorite character in San Andreas. Now that I'm older and I can handle powerful women in art. Oh man, giving me Vaconia vibes.
We're gonna get through this.
Catalina, you're not a man, CJ.
Being a team.
You're not a real man.
Trust.
Yeah, so this is like the polar opposite of the Claude Catalina, or rather the CJ Catalina relationship. You got to prove you're a real man, CJ. No, this bitch is like, trust. We're equals. Trust. Look at my little titties. She's got little titties. She's got those I don't think they're trying to sexualize her that much. She's probably gonna have a nice fat ass and a nice athletic strong body, but with little mosquito bites. That's actually a very interesting choice. I think that they're paying a lot of attention to the geometry of her face, because they look like actors. It looks like a movie. I think that this might be the Grand Theft Auto game that is as strong as movies. Red Dead is not as strong as movies. It's too contrived. It's got too many flaws. This looks more efficient in its storytelling.
Trust.
Look at that body on her. Look at those hips and legs. All right, let's do this. Let's play it at slow speed.
Being a team.
Look at that beautiful profile. It looks a little bit like Abby, but this is like Abby well done. Very distinctive, very defined nose, Very defined lips, small eyes because of the high testosterone, strong cheekbones, strong jaw. This girl's got, she's got a lot of tea, natural tea.
Trust.
Trust.
Yo! Look at that ass. Yo, this is like the 10 out of 10 Latina that we always wanted to bang back in the day. Look at that body. Look at the calves. Oof. Most Latinas don't got calves. They got the little bow legs. So that's very encouraging. Oh, it's just... Well done, Rockstar. Well done. Okay. Looks decent. We didn't see any gameplay, I don't think. Does that assuage all the worries? No. But what's there is really good. I like the art. I like the attention to the female figure. I just like the anatomical approach that they've taken to all the models. I don't give a shit about cars. I don't give a shit about vehicles in general. I'm more concerned with how they handle rather than how they look. The writing doesn't tell us much. It's very, generic crime movie type stuff. Bonnie and Clyde, Us Against the World. No personality white guy with a red hot fire Latina, which is very true to life. I mean, I've seen that in my life so many times, where you get like this very, very humble, hardworking white guy who falls in love with this, lioness, fiera of a woman. And I've almost been in relationships like that. It's just that I have too much personality and ego to handle somebody else calling the shots almost exclusively. So, because I've come close to dating women like that, and it's too, ultimately, it's too combative. I need to be with somebody who is either going to follow me or, lead with me. I can't follow, it's very hard for me to follow somebody else, somebody else's lead. I have to really believe in you to follow you. And when I follow somebody, I elevate, I level up, and eventually I become better than the person that I'm following. And so I either become like competition, complementary, or we clash. So that's why I can't be with somebody who's autocratic. I have to be with somebody who's either wants to split it or follow me. Sorry. It's just how it is. Sorry. I can't be happy in anything else. So that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. We didn't get a lot of anything that would, dispel any worries. I didn't hear any of the radio stations. Maybe we did hear some of the radio stations during the montage, the crime montage. I want to see how they handle the internet more, meme culture, etc. I guess there's not going to be romances. It's going to be a pure story game. I don't like that. I mean, ever since they took out all of the RPG mechanics from Grand Theft Auto. Let me play some footage. Ever since they took out like the RPG mechanics from San Andreas, I've been upset. Look at my CJ. Look at what a dangerous motherfucker he looks like. Yo, look at my CJ. My CJ is such a killer. He's yoked, not too yoked. He's yoked. He's got his military garb because my CJ is ex-military. He came back. He was, he left. So he was, what's the word? Dishonorably discharged because he had to see his mama. But he's still wearing his fatigues. Still wearing his camo pants. He's got his military jacket. He's got a white shirt to denote the goodness of the character. He's got his dog tags. Got a crown of stars, Aquarius. I mean, and he knows how to box, cause I took him to the gym.
Well, it's CJ, man, I'm telling you.
Look at this.
Homie, what's up?
Hey, what you saying about me?
What other Grand Theft Auto game can you make your main character look like how you want? I mean, he's still black. But I don't give a fuck, because it's not about the skin color. It's about the personality and how the character looks through your lens, right? Look at the stars, man. That's Aquarius, my son. Come on.
Idiot, fool.
Paisley, son.
Cars and shit. And for some
It's
reason,
Paisley, nigga.
All it is CJ draw here, CJ draw there. Bullshit. Man,
Bullshit.
No disrespect, man. But you can't draw for shit.
What?
Man. Nah.
Look at the fucking the lead paint chips. The lead paint, bro. They got the lead paint. That's why fucking Wright is a retard, bro. He's got the lead paint. Well, you can't be smoking weed if you already got lead paint poisoning, you fuck.
Say what you really mean.
Fuck it, let him smoke. Keep him off the streets, man. Keep this motherfucker indoor.
You such a
sedated.
Homie.
Give him some video games and porno.
Show CJ what's cracking. Hey, you know something? You right.
You know something? Yeah, reverse psychology always works on me. Yeah. Buster. Straight Buster. Look at my CJ. He's got like a neck like The Rock.
Where we going, homie? Don't drive like no fool.
Don't drive like no fool.
Yeah, ball is turf. You dog ready?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no! So this is the I was playing the PS3 version, which is the remastered version. Look what they did to my boy CJ. Look at his neck. Looking like a shitty action figure. Like you just can pull the head right off of it. I think I tried to play the PS2 version. You know what? I was trying to do a Let's Play. And I'm like, what's the best version? It's got to be the PlayStation 3 version because it's just a port of the PlayStation 2 version, but enhanced by the hardware, right? No, they couldn't do that. So I'm gonna have to play it through a PlayStation 2 emulator. Right here, you got the PSX2. Which is a shame because you can't play it in widescreen. Well, you can play it. It's some iteration of widescreen. It's like the shitty. Let me show you. See how wide it is? That's too wide. It's too fat. Let me see my CJ. See this CJ from this save. He looks like the I call him the Robert De Niro taxi driver, CJ. Oops. I remember this guy, the Southern guy. Is it Tex Avery or some shit? He's the guy who mentored Donald Love. Donald Love. Who was like the liberal Donald Trump. On it loads slow as shit, just like it should. That's how the melody goes. Oh yeah, that's way too widescreen. Look at CJ though. Look at what a bad motherfucker he can be. CJ, you a bad motherfucker. Buster? Hell nah. Bad motherfucker. See this video. So what have I done here? Let's go to custom resolution. And Let's do full. Enable hacks. Let's see if that does it. We may have to go here. Sorry that I'm troubleshooting. This went off the rails quick. So I took off. Tick off that. Yeah, I mean, because it's not natively widescreen, and it's like widescreen, but like basic 2004 widescreen. Let me see. Yeah, let's go with let's go with 3 times native. See what that looks like. Not much of a change. Yeah, we're gonna have to go with an old school aspect ratio. It's not even here. Hold on. To the Windows settings. Here we are. Custom Windows size. See, it's because I've been fucking around. See what's standard. Well. But this is what you have to resort to. Because they're fucking up our games. How does that look? Now we need something a little bit more vertical. Let's see. Something less wide. Oh, there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. See here? No, it's not going to change. FMV. Let's keep the widescreen. No, we might have to go to fit it to standard. Let's just keep it in standard. Let's see what that does. Oh, and that's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, this is what people had to deal with back in the day. That's as good as it... And you know what? This looks way better than the PlayStation 2 version. The PlayStation 2 version was rough. It's ugly looking at it now. It's how I feel about Dark Souls 3. It's fucking... It's ugly. The art is immaculate. But the graphics themselves are fucking ugly. Let's see here. Let's see. We gotta cut this video short. No, but I want you guys to see what I'm doing. Yeah, no. I mean, that's how it is. I think the only thing we can do now... There's 2 things we can do. We can play the PC version, which has patches and mods and all kinds of things to make it look right. Oh, it was on. This version is so good. I don't remember the PlayStation 3 version being this this detailed and comical. Look at CJ. What a bad motherfucker. This is why I love this game so much. You got lung capacity, total respect, stamina, fat, you got muscles, sex appeal. Why did they get rid of all that stuff? Fucking assholes. Why? Look at my muscle. And I know boxing. And you can learn martial art. Look at my driving skill. That's like your adaptability in Dark Souls 2. Flying skill, 0. Because I haven't even used the plane yet. But it's nice to know that it's there. My bike skill. Alright, I should be better. I should be able to do better tricks. But look at my cycling skill. It's a little bit better. Right? It's the hood. Armor 0, so you can get a vest. Times drowned. I mean, man. Widescreen. With widescreen, I noticed there's more color. Is it actually wider? I really can't tell. But this is probably the most faithful version of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas that you can play. And what sucks is that the controls are better in the PlayStation 3 version. In this version, you get a couple of dead zones, and the camera is a little bit more difficult to control. But look at the colors, man. It's so painterly. It's just so beautiful. The colors are done perfectly. And what I love is that depending on the time of day, depending on the weather, the lighting changes and the atmosphere changes. You see the humidity, you see the heat, you see the temperature reflected on how the light hits different surfaces. It was very subtle. It was so subtle and it was so well done. That's why it doesn't surprise me that they never managed to surpass this one. They surpassed it in terms of story, writing, scope. But in terms of fun, in terms of exploration, novelty, replayability, and I would say likable characters, I noticed that the writing is actually kind of bad. The writing is bad, but the voice acting and the direction is so good. Like, everybody's got, like, charisma to 11, because I noticed that these actors, they can say, like, the most retarded fucking shit. And they do sometimes, because the script calls for it. But they make it sound like it means something. That's fucking acting. That's a fucking chef's a kiss. That's good directing. It's good acting. Good editing. It's just what an immaculate job. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stick to this one. I'm going to re-record another playthrough. And it's just a shame that you can't do widescreen, because I would love to see all this. But a lot of the cinematics, actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get widescreen, and for all the cinematics, all the cutscenes, they're not FMVs, they're in-engine, cutscenes. When I do those cutscenes, I'm going to leave it in 4:3, this is the aspect ratio, 4:3, where it's kind of like the old TV aspect ratio with the bars on the sides. Well, I'm going to do the game in what is it, 16:9 or something. I'm going to do it in widescreen, and I'm going to do the cinematics in 4:3, because the cinematics were shot to be in 4:3. If you do the cinematics in widescreen, you see a lot of glitches and janky shit on the sides that the developers very cleverly, left off screen. Well, whoever did the fucking remaster, they fucked it all up. Wow. I never remember seeing a tree that big in this game. Well, not in the city. You get to the mountains and it's a whole different ball game, boy. So I'm going to do my best, everybody, to revamp this game as good as I can. Another thing I didn't like about the PS3 version, it's that it's got this really, this pervasive sheen. The shine. It's like Jerry curl juice that they put on everything. Every texture is now shiny and sweaty. It reminds me of the wrestling games that came out during this era. So shiny, so sheeny, to where, like, these aren't even good graphics. It's just you're just putting Vaseline on everything. But yeah, that's how I feel about Grand Theft Auto. They never did better than this one. And by this game's standards, I don't think that they will do better. But by Rockstar's own standards, I'm sure that they will. So, see you guys next time.